Welcome to the Legal Code, the YouTube channel dedicated to discussing various legal topics, whether that's to take your small business to the next level, legal lessons we can learn from celebrity shenanigans, getting started on your estate plan. I mean, every once in a while we discuss celebrity shenanigans, but that's not the bedrock of this channel because I want you to have substantive knowledge and practical information that could improve your lives and the lives of the people in your community. So if you like that sort of thing and you find value in this sort of information, please don't forget to like and subscribe and share with anyone else you think will find value. Also, I have some legal coaching slots available, so if you would like the opportunity to meet with me one-on-one, whether that's to create your LLC, reviewing legal contracts, protecting your IP, whether that's trademark, patents, or copyrights, we could go through all of that in the consultation. And links are below. Now let's get into the subject of this video. The 5G has people scamming, scheming like never before and taking advantage of unsuspected people. If you're not familiar with this channel, it's your first time here, I have a few videos dedicated to how not to get scammed in your business, by friends, by family, how not to get scammed out of your house. Yeah, that happens. From ill-intended actors, including lawyers and real estate professionals. So this is a topic we visit, but now we're looking at scamming in the virtual world, where scammers have various tactics to scare and intimidate content creators like you and me, to extort money from them by accusing them of all sorts of things, but most importantly, copyright infringement, because YouTube, as we know, it's a content creating platform. So copyright infringement is pretty much the way to go in terms of how to intimidate and scam people. Now, YouTube specifically is the platform most notorious for getting ill-intended actors to extort money from content creators. Specifically, they use the YouTube copyright takedown process to intimidate content creators. Before we get into that, I just want to back up and review copyright, the basics of copyright. Now, copyright pertains to audiovisual works such as TV shows, movies, online videos, sound recording, such as music composition, written words such as lectures, article, books, musical compositions, visual works such as painting, posters, advertisements, video games, which includes computer software, as well as dramatic works such as plays, musical. It's a wide range of disciplines that go under copyright. Ideas, facts, processes are not subject to copyright. According to copyright law, in order to be eligible for copyright protection, a work must be creative, original, and it must be fixed in a tangible medium. It must be in the real world. It can't be an idea that remains in someone's head. It has to have been manifested in the real world. There is a difference between having a copyright, and this is important, and suing for copyright. You must have registered your copyright in the U.S. Copyright Office before you can sue for infringement of the copyright. So anyone threatening to sue without this bona fide copyright seal has no grounds to sue, but you can just threaten for unauthorized use. Registration is voluntary. It is not automatic when you have created a work. The moment you have a work, you have to go to the Copyright Office and register it in order to sue for infringement. It does not happen automatically. A lot of people misunderstand, think they have a copyright, therefore they have the grounds to sue. No, I'm here to let you know you can only sue once it's been registered with the Copyright Office. That's really key. Now let's review the copyright takedown process of YouTube. For those who are unfamiliar with copyright takedown, it's a process created by YouTube to protect the copyrights of original content creators. If a copyright owner finds their copyright protected work is posted on YouTube without their permission, they may schedule a takedown request for the content. Once the request is validated or verified by YouTube and its attorneys, or YouTube determines that there has been infringement, YouTube gives the uploader 7 days to remove the video and avoid a copyright strike. If they don't, the video is removed after 7 days because YouTube has found that there has been infringement of someone's original work. So YouTube does the guesswork for many people. So now that you know the law, let me tell you about a scenario. So the other day, one of my dear clients contacted me regarding a copyright notice that she received from someone claiming to be the copyright holder of an original work, or at least the legal representative of the estate of the copyright original owner. So the person claimed that they were the head of estate and had the rights to pursue a claim against the content creator. So they issued a copyright takedown notice. And guess what YouTube said? YouTube said there was no copyright infringement or violation and the video falls under fair use. Now, fair use allows people to use another person's copyright work without having to receive permission from that person if they use it in a specific way, such as making commentary, criticism, parody, satire, news reporting, teaching, scholarship, and research. So if the use falls within these categories, it's permissible on YouTube, outside of YouTube. So even though a person doesn't have the permission to use the work, if they're using it in this way, fair use is a defense. Additionally, if the work is transformative enough through these ways, the work is more likely to be considered fair use. Transformative uses are those that add something new with further purpose or different character and do not substitute for the original use or of the work. And so it's creative enough to be fair use. So again, fair use is a defense to copyright infringement and not receiving permission from the original copyright holder. So again, back to my client. So YouTube found the video to be appropriate, fallen within fair use as a commentary or criticism of the original work. And so YouTube was not willing to take it down. So the creator was protected. And so the representative of the estate did not like YouTube's response and decided to go rogue and personally go after the creator and threaten her with all sorts of inappropriate messages. YouTube warned the content creator, saying that it's likely the original copyright holder may still go after you, but we're just letting you know you're not violating our terms and conditions. So that's what happened. And then she called me. Now, I looked to see if the person was in fact the legal representative of the estate, because anyone can just come out of the woodwork and claim to be anyone. There's no proof that it may be true. So legal representative, just so you know, is not a term of art to be tossed around. It has to be determined by a court. A court must appoint someone to be the legal representative. One does not get to become legal representative just because they're next to kin or the surviving relative of the deceased. So that's what I wanted to make sure. See if there's any proof. Next, I look at whether or not the legal representative has the grounds to sue. Just because someone claims to be the legal representative and perhaps is appointed by the court to be the legal representative does not mean they have a legitimate claim. Not liking someone's portrayal of a deceased family member is not unauthorized use. It doesn't violate copyright, doesn't violate the right of publicity, which I'll discuss in a later video, but just I will insert a snippet here. The right of publicity, it pertains to especially people who talk about celebrities or famous people. It's misappropriation of that person's likeness, whether it's their voice, their photograph, anything like that, for the benefit of commercial use. But outside of a legal claim, it's just someone not liking your video who's threatening to intimidate you. It doesn't have any teeth and you really don't have to worry about it. But again, there are many teaching tools that I want to share with you to point out what to look for if someone tries to reach out to you to threaten you for money in order for you to take down a video that you have the legal right to use. So there are certain subtleties that the untrained eye will not notice, but I'm giving you the secrets here. I'm giving you the tools so you know how to smoke out those scammers and not get into a panic. Blanket claims that say you are violating a copyright. That doesn't mean anything. What is the violation? If someone contacts you and they don't have a specific claim as to what you're violating, this type of contact will likely come from an attorney who will explain the violation and refer to the case law. A layperson will just say you're violating a copyright. That doesn't mean anything, but without pointing out or demonstrating the type of violation. It is likely, if you're dealing with a famous person, they will have a legal team reach out to you if you violated a copyright. It is unlikely that they will do it unilaterally without consulting their suite of lawyers to handle these type of things, because a person with sizable assets and means is not combing through the internet looking for URLs to see who is infringed on their copyright. So if a big fish or someone identified as a celebrity, like I said, with sizable resources and assets, and a regular person is just reaching out to you claiming that you violated a copyright, you should pursue it further, I should say. You should pursue it further and you shouldn't panic. Because like I said, these people have attorneys doing this, and they will likely reach out to you and say, listen, here's a cease and desist. You need to take this information now. Next, anyone who makes a blanket legal conclusion to say you have violated the copyright and your use does not fall under fair use, guess what? That doesn't mean anything either, because fair use is the defense of copyright infringement, and it's not something that we decide. The court would decide it if the case ever went to court. It is what is argued. It's not for one side to say it is or it isn't. Next, if you're afraid of being sued for infringement, in order to bring an lawsuit, like I said earlier, the person actually has to have the seal to show that it is a registered copyright. If they have not done that, you are not compelled to settle with them outside of court, because they don't even have the legal grounds to bring a claim to begin with. So don't separate yourself from your wallet and start handing over money just because you are panicked. Again, you need the seal, the registered seal, to even bring a lawsuit. So someone saying, oh, we could just settle this out of court, doesn't mean anything, and you are not compelled to act. Next, you want to always do your due diligence when anyone reaches out to you. If they have tried to bring a bogus charge against anyone else, it will be on the internet. Reach out to perhaps other content creators that maybe have used this similar type of video, or mention this celebrity who's passed away or is still alive, and see if there is a link between the person who's contacted you and they've had experience with them. Because sometimes people just reach out to people to shake them down. They have no legitimate claims. They're just using the 5G to scam people. So do your due diligence. Google these people. Google the company they claim to have worked for if it comes from a company address. Even if it comes from a law firm, Google, verify. Do not part with your money without verifying that this person is who they say they are. Also, I think I mentioned this earlier. If someone claims to be a legal representative of an estate, that doesn't mean anything. I could claim I'm the legal representative of Michael Jackson's estate. That doesn't mean anything. Michael Jackson actually has a legal representative that was appointed by the court that acts on behalf of the estate. A person just saying that just because they are the next of kin, again, it means nothing. And like I said before, I know I'm repeating myself, but I want you to imagine this. Beyonce is not reaching out to anyone who she claims to have infringed her work. She has lawyers to do that. Beyonce won't even notice this is happening. And I say this about many celebrities. They won't even notice this has happened. Their legal team handles these sorts of things. The problem may happen with smaller content creators that copy or infringe other content creators. They're likely to have reached out. They will likely reach out because they don't have the resources to support a whole legal a whole suite of lawyers to do this sort of work. So in those instances, I would say pay attention to that. You may be infringing, and it may turn out to be nothing, but be on the lookout for those nuances. So needless to say, just because someone has reached out to you and claimed to be someone or part of something does not make it true. Take a deep breath, do your research, use your senses. Next, you also, if you're a content creator who's growing, you want to be working closely with an attorney that can intervene and take control of the situation so that you're not spiraling into a tizzy. Because most of these claims are coming from people trying to exploit and intimidate. You want the sensibility and the practicality of an attorney to intervene and tell you what to do. Remember, social media is the wild, wild west. And there are some people who take advantage of the lack of rules and try to exploit people. So let me know your thoughts. Have you ever been contacted by anyone who inappropriately told you that you were infringing on someone else's work? How did you handle it? Did you know it was a scam? Let me know. All comments are welcome, and links are in the description box. And I will see you next time. Bye-bye.